The woman pressed a button on the door, causing a massive stone door to slowly rise, revealing the mysterious entrance to a tomb. Then, black oozing liquid flowed out from inside. She immediately realized something was not right, but before she could take 2 steps back, she was threatened by thieves with guns. She said that there was oil all over the ground, be careful of accidental fire. But the thieves didn't believe her, and then touched the sticky liquid with their hand, which was instantly ignited by a teammate's torch. The thief screamed in pain and buried himself in the sand to put out the fire. Realizing that the tomb was very dangerous, the group helplessly sought help from the woman again. She then picked up some sand grains and carefully placed them in a metal tray. Several large smooth slabs of stone began to stand upright. Before the others could react, a harsh sunlight reflected through a mirror, instantly illuminating the entire dark tomb. Then, guided by the woman, the heavy stone door at the end of the burial passage was successfully opened. The group was stunned by what they saw. The thieves quickly rushed to the piles of gold and jewels, laughing and wearing gold necklaces and crowns. However, she walked straight to an ancient sarcophagus and had it opened by someone. She then removed the wooden mummy coffin inside, but before she could open it, the necklace on the thief suddenly came alive. He was strangled on the spot amidst everyone's horror. Another thief immediately drew his gun on her, but before he could react, he was activated, instantly fell into a 100-meter deep pit and disappeared without a trace. The woman finally saw the mummy she had longed for day and night. Unexpectedly, the crime boss had also tracked them down. He ordered his men to kill everyone there. The woman requested a last cigarette before dying, but as soon as she took the lighter, she immediately ignited the oil on the ground, causing a fierce flame to erupt. In the last moment, she crawled into the mummy's coffin and fell into the dark river, floating downstream and successfully returning to the ground. The immediate task now was to revive the mummy doctor because only his medical skills could heal her comatose sister. But as soon as she returned home, she heard that the professor had been arrested. The professor had inadvertently unleashed an Egyptian secret ritual while researching, reviving a pterosaur in the museum and infusing his own consciousness into it. The pterosaur flew out of the museum, randomly colliding with the sheriff's car. The driver, in horror, accidentally drove the car through a barrier and into the sea, where everyone on board was killed instantly. After the incident, the police the professor based on clues. In a panic, he hid the pterosaur behind the curtains. The pterosaur could no longer bear it and burst out. Everyone was terrified. With incontrovertible evidence, the professor was directly sent to prison. Since only the professor knew how to revive the mummy, the woman tried every means to impersonate Various to infiltrate the prison and rescue him. Unfortunately, her skills were too poor, and the police always recognized her. She sought help from the president, hoping for leniency. Suddenly, the pterosaur launched an attack. The woman protected it at all costs and was mistaken by the bodyguards as a killer and apprehended. The woman did not give up. She found the pterosaur and, with great courage, actually tamed it. Then she made a remarkable decision. The pterosaur from thousands of years ago has become the woman's mount. On the day of the professor's execution, she rode the pterosaur to the execution site and skillfully rescued him, but they were discovered by a hunter who had been lying in wait. Taking advantage of everyone's distraction, the hunter shot the pterosaur with a gun. The pterosaur was wounded and fell down, and the professor also felt the same pain and his wounds started bleeding incessantly. It turned out that his soul was linked with the pterosaur. Seeing the professor's life in danger, the woman quickly brought him back home and let him perform the Egyptian ritual again. The professor started the same operation as before, and all objects in the room levitated. Just when the woman thought they were about to succeed, with a roar from the professor, the ritual abruptly stopped. He and the pterosaur both walked towards death simultaneously. The woman once again fell into deep despair, but as she sat paralyzed on the sofa, the mummy suddenly sneezed, shattering even the glass. Then, it stumbled out and walked away. Only then did the woman realize that the mummy had actually been revived. However, what she never expected was that the mummy was not a doctor but a physicist. Nevertheless, he provided a clue. The doctor should still be buried with the pharaoh. So, they were still in the museum. Fortunately, the professor's ritual could awaken all the mummies within a radius of 10 kilometers, and the museum happened to be within this range. The woman immediately took her sister to the museum. Eventually, she successfully found the doctor attending to the pharaoh, but he immediately extracted the steel needles from her sister's head, much to the woman's annoyance. She thought he wasn't a doctor, but the doctor then began preparing a mysterious potion, which he applied to her sister's head and wrapped with linen bandages. Finally, the pharaoh gently gave his first kiss. Sister miraculously woke up. The two sisters could have lived happily ever after, but the woman decided to continue her adventure. Shortly after, she boarded the Titanic.